It turns out the government did lie about the Epstein footage, and that is now a fact, not a conspiracy. Lock in, boys and girls. Lock in, boys and girls. You are not ready for what we are about to go through. Diabolical levels of lies and manipulations. Trump actually responded to everything, drops the biggest tweet of all time. He actually got ratioed, not on Twitter, but on Truth Social. He got ratioed. It turns out we have new Epstein footage. It is so bad. It is so bad. But there is good news. There is good news. The good news is infinite content, endless content. There will always be content. Listen, hell yeah, dude. Lock in, boys and girls. We got to start with the Trump tweet. All right, listen. He drops this giga chungus. All right, listen. But, and before we get too deep into this, I just wanted to say, I don't think Epstein ever existed. That's my opinion. I think Epstein was fake. I think he was invented by Hillary Clinton. Not even a real person. That's my opinion. But anyway, we'll see. All right, so Trump drops this banger. He just dropped this like an hour ago. What's going on with my boys and in some cases, gals? Immediately 10 out of 10. Immediately 10 out of 10. This is why he's the president of the United States. Oh my God. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. This is when I loaded my gun and pointed it at myself. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. Listen, I'm just saying he might have been giving away more than he expected over here. Calling Jeffrey Epstein the guy that never dies may be implying that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. I'm just calling it right here. Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. He changed his name. It's now, he changed it to Moses Sheckelberg, and he moved to England. All right, that's my prediction. We'll see if I'm correct. Who knows? For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obunga, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax? The 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files. What? Just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that was used on me, and now my so-called friends are now playing right into their hands. Full stop. Hold a second. This is not real. This is not real. What is happening? Wait, you're telling me that Hillary Clinton invented Epstein files? Bro, the Clintons were the #1 Epstein clients, in my opinion. Right? Dude, what are we talking about? The Democrats allegedly had these Epstein files and didn't release them forever, okay? Like, how are we saying that they invented Epstein's clients? There was actual 10,000 hours of footage of child porn from Epstein's mansion, brother. What are we talking about? They invented the files. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Trump even believes it. I don't know if he's lying on purpose, if he thinks he's fooling anyone, or if he thinks this is true, question mark? I don't even know where to begin, but this is diabolical. Oh my God, do you ever see the Bill Clinton Epstein portrait? So here's the thing. Epstein has a portrait of Bill Clinton, okay? That was hanging in his house, all right? Like, brother, it was hanging in his house, and it was this. Maybe the worst ever portrait of all time ever, okay? It was this. This is a actual painting that is in Jeffrey Epstein's house of Bill Clinton. You're telling me that the Clintons invented this? Come on, brother. What are we doing here? I'm telling you, man, it's like they're lying in our face, and we know that they're lying. And they know that we know that they're lying, but they keep doubling and tripling down. What's going on? So, of course, I will continue to have a wonderful time making content, because that's what we do here, boys. Oh, Lord. So, anyway, playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files if there was anything that could hurt the MAGA movement? Well, you know my answer. My answer is because it hurts their entire movement. My opinion is that all of them were probably in the Epstein files. So, of course, they didn't want to release that. All right, that's option one. Option two is that Epstein was an agent of the CIA. That's option two, and I think that's also possible. So, either it was some sort of undercover operation that they didn't want to expose, or they were in the files, or both. Like, what are we doing, bro? I don't see any other option. No one's claiming that only MAGA people were on Epstein's island. That's not what anyone's been saying. Why didn't they use it? They haven't given up on John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting the criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. Now, to be honest, I think he's right about all of those things. I do think that, I am a very simple man, okay? I'm a very simple man, which is why no one on the planet hates me or sends me death threats. At least not 14 death threats emailed to me today specifically alone. That sounded very specific because it's probably true. Realistically, I think we gotta look at each thing as they come. We could recognize a lot of very good things and shitty things at the same time, all right? I think we could absolutely look at the good and look at the bad and talk about them as two completely separate fucking shits. All right? Realistically, securing the border is an unbelievably good thing. So, you know, stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon, hell yeah, dude. I am all for that. But, you know, so in regards like this, I like to be a realist and say this is bullshit. This is bullshit, brother. Oh, I can't believe Trump just said, why are you talking about Epstein when there's literally a genocide going on? Oh my God. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. Honestly, he might be right. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country, making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. Obviously, love to hear that. That's fantastic news. Definitely want to see America being great and stuff. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election in 2020, and the arresting of thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. So immediately, I agree. We should definitely be looking into voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, rigged, stolen election in 2020, arresting thugs and criminals, whatever he just said. I completely agree. I'm like, you know, not a big fan of protecting pedophiles, in my opinion. Listen, hot take. I do not like pedophiles at all. In fact, my wood chipper likes pedophiles a lot, but I do not. You see, my wood chipper and I have very different perspectives on pedophiles. I don't want pedophiles anywhere around me. My wood chipper, on the other hand, literally calls to them. Okay, listen, we have very different perspectives here. Now, that said, all said and done, let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. I don't know why we're doing this, man. And they even tried the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Honestly, true, but not relevant to Epstein. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, someone that nobody cares about. What do you mean nobody cares about? Obviously everyone cares about it, brother. Oh my God. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So this is a diabolical post. This is diabolical. Now, realistically, I have always said that I will never trust the government. I still don't trust the government, it turns out. I was, in fact, a little too trusting, I think, of late. I was like, wow, he's doing all these press conferences and everything's so transparent. Look, realistically, the government's gonna government, all right? The CIA is gonna do some heinous, fucked up shit behind the scenes, and that's just part of life, all right? And I am more than happy to say that, realistically, we are not gonna get transparency, all right? We're gonna get more transparency. Like, at least we know who the president of the United States is, right? We didn't know who the president was for the last 4 years. However, realistically, this is some bullshit, brother. This is some diabolical levels of bullshit. Yeah. So anyway, the government keeps lying to us about Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know why. I don't know the real reason. I don't know if it's because people don't want to end up exposing themselves. I don't know if it's because there is some sort of undercover operation. I don't know what it is. Realistically, this ain't it, bro. This is a lie. Right? Let's be real. This is not true. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't invented as a Democrat hoax. Listen, I am more than happy to make fun of some Democrat hoaxes, but this ain't one of them. Anyway, Kash Patel, leader of the CIA, FBI, whatever, he says the conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. Now, right before he became the leader of this FBI, he believed all of them. But then he became the establishment and suddenly, what are you talking about? Only a retard believes in this shit. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States. I'll continue to do so. Yeah, diabolical, bro. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, insanity, brother. Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. Anyway, AOC made this post. I am including this post on purpose because this is crazy. So AOC says, wow, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? So first of all, calling him a rapist is defamation. Even if Grok says that it's not defamation, Grok is wrong because ABC, you know, the media company, ended up paying out Trump $15 million for calling him a rapist. So that's defamation. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, who would have thought electing a rapist would complicate the release of the Epstein files? Lady, this was all buried by the Democrats of the last term. What are we talking about? Like, dude, the reason why this is even being discussed at all right now is literally because it was buried 6 feet underground with 15,000 emails that Hillary Clinton, you know, cluster fucked with bleach. All right, let's be real here, man. Let's be honest. This is some donkey level intelligence. It's like, I cannot, and you know, she's farming likes off of this. It's like, who would have thought the rapist complicated the release? Complicated the release? Bro, the Democrats freaking had these files for years and did nothing with them. Or I should say, what files? So, before we dive into the footage that was changed up, because they actually changed up all of the fucking footage, actually crazy shit, by the way, insane shit. Oh, and by the way, me criticizing Trump here is not at all me saying that the Democrats did better. The Democrats are a billion times worse. People didn't even criticize the Democrats for hiding the Epstein files because they were not transparent about anything else. Okay, let's make this clear. The reason why no one was criticizing the Democrats is because they would think we didn't even know who the president of the country was. They're going to release the Epstein files on rich and powerful people? Yeah, right. Absolutely, yeah. We don't know who's running the country, but they're going to expose all the top brass. Well, 1,000%. Yeah, so no one was even asking for this because this was so far out of our realm of possibility. This just feels like a backstab because we actually wanted to see some real shit. So anyway, I wanted to look at the ever-changing story of the Epstein files, and then I wanted to look deeper at how they released fake footage. They released doctored footage. So lock in, boys and girls. We are about to go on the ride of a lifetime.
This is a montage of the changing stories on Jeffrey Epstein. Enjoy.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island.
But there are no Epstein files. Remember, chat, there are no Epstein files.
With Jeffrey Epstein.
That island was really a cesspool. There's no
A cesspool for what?
question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
Oh, Prince Andrew? Why? Is he, like, in some sort of files?
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator.
Yeah. Protecting pedophiles is bad, actually. I agree.
That seems like an evil thing to do.
Yeah, unless you're Hasan Piker and you're supporting, you know, Islamist extremist terrorist organizations that have, like, sex slaves and stuff. I don't understand why you'd be on board with this.
Regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list, why is the FBI protecting the greatest in human history?
Fantastic question. All right.
Simple, because of who's on that list.
No! Right, so this was obviously before he became the person in charge of the FBI, obviously. Oh, man.
Killed Jeffrey Epstein.
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
You know,
Kash Patel is lying through his fucking mouth, okay? He is lying through his teeth. Like, this is him saying it doesn't look like a suicide. And right now, Kash Patel says that he killed himself, okay? And he said he released all the footage. The footage does not show that. So what convinced you 100% that he killed himself if none of the footage shows any of that? The answer is he didn't kill himself. He renamed his name. Now his name is Morris Schmeckelberg, and he's running around in South Africa.
Killed Jeffrey Epstein.
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
You know, Epstein's an intelligence asset.
Apparently, Dan Bongino. So right now he's the deputy director in the FBI. Apparently, he's considering leaving the FBI over all of this. We definitely have to look into that.
For people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that. his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. There are a lot.
Yikes! Oh no! Oh my god, dude. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely insane. So this guy's like, yeah, there are copies of these tapes in other places. And now they're all like, there are no tapes. No tapes. Only victims. No perpetrators. You see, the children, they all trafficked and then raped themselves, actually. We know. We watched all the porn.
People who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
Would you declassify?
Listen, why does no one talk about? Great question, sir. And now he gets into office and he's like, there is no Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, that's not the line. There is no list. There's no list. There's no Epstein. No children. No pedophiles.
Declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know.
I didn't say this clip. What do you mean I think less so?
You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Less so, bro.
But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he...
Oh, my God. Wait, this is before he became president, right? Yeah, this is June 2nd, 2024. This is before his second term.
Died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there.
Yeah, I would also like to know how he died. Bro.
Because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it was a pretty weird situation. Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the Epstein case. I have worked on this for years, trying to get those records of who flew on Epstein's plane and who helped him build this international human trafficking ring.
Absolutely, Senator. Child trafficking has no place in the United States of America.
I love that. I love to hear that. We keep that shit happening in Yemen. All right, no child sex trafficking in the United States. Only the Houthis get away with that shit.
If confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
Release the list. Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
JD, what happened to you, JD? What happened 1 month before the election? In other words, 1 month before he was clued in. Come on, JD.
That is an important thing.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
It means the client list. Oh my God.
To review.
A lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims.
Yeah, I am sick. I'm even sicker knowing that no one that victimized these people is actually facing justice, aside from one pedophile that allegedly killed himself.
200. So we have, well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some being released. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
That's pretty bad.
Are we going to see who was on the flights?
Oh God, he directly asked her? I didn't see this clip.
Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Right.
Yeah. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of
flight logs.
Names.
Names? She needs to get fired, by the way. I'm just saying. I know that Trump is batting for her. She needs to get fired immediately. Like, you lied, okay? You literally lied. You just came out here and you were like, we are giving you names and flight logs. And that did not happen. Not tomorrow and not ever. And now you're saying we have done everything. The case is closed. We have investigated ourselves and we found ourselves innocent of all charges. Holy. How is Trump batting for her? Bro, he made this gargantuan tweet saying that they're all going after Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. And over here, let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. So, I don't know, man. Pam Blondie over here is needs to be eliminated. I mean, like, fired, not obviously. Listen, I don't think Pam Bondi is suicidal.
A lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, the man that raped billions of children all by himself. What a guy.
Okay, well, we'll
along
look
with
for
his
that.
co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for
He sure did.
But in this case, in Epstein.
Okay, so according to this theory that there's no list of clients and it's all Jeffrey Epstein that did all the molesting, why did he need why would Ghislaine Maxwell work with him to traffic all these children, right? Like let's be real. He's like, listen, I want to rape 1,000 children. Help me out with this. And Ghislaine Maxwell was like, fuck yeah, I got you, brother. And that was it? And no one else was involved? Like, this is so obviously bullshit, bro.
Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names.
And none of this came out. Like, dude, this is a diabolical cover-up.
That will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking
I'm
that
shocked.
there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable.
White logs tied. I don't know, dude. And there's also like so many weird coincidences. Like they had ties to MI6 and to Mossad. And Jeffrey Epstein was an FBI asset in 2006. And, you know, like, I feel like there are so many different connections to different intelligence agencies, right? Ghislaine Maxwell was like a Mossad agent. And they're all tied to all these different intelligence agencies. So everyone should know about this stuff, bro. Everyone should know this. There's flight logs, all right? Come on, dude. What is going on here? Like, this is crazy. Like, no one's taking this seriously. Oh, yeah, it was just a perverted guy that raped 1,000 children. And no one's believing that.
To accuse trafficker Jeffrey Epstein have been released to some conservative political commentators. They walked out of the White House holding binders labeled the Epstein files.
Yeah, which turned out to be fucking nothing, apparently.
There was an expectation that this was going to be bigger. You had the same expectation.
We all did. And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein.
Yeah, and nothing got released. Good job, team. Good job, team. You did such a good job protecting the victims that you decided to protect all the pedophiles too, just in case. Well, hell yeah, dude. You're definitely protecting children with this one. I don't know, man. I am trying and struggling to come up with any positive way to view this. This just seems like a gigantic shit. I wonder why this is the strat. I wonder why this is the strat they're taking. You know what I want? I want to see Trump explaining to the people why he's doing it like this, because this is obviously bullshit. Like, it's so obviously bullshit.
Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public?
It's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know.
What we know is that this was a large network of high-profile, high-dollar predators who abused untold numbers of minors.
Okay, that's bad.
Only one person has been prosecuted for these crimes, and that is Ghislaine Maxwell.
If there was a video of...
Right, so that means there's a lot of other people out there, right? Like, so that means that there's a lot of other people out there that are pedophiles, that are in positions of power. Right, Gabers? Brother.
Some guy or gal committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge. Don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it. If I have it.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
you guys.
Joe is not believing this for a second.
Gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Oh my god, dude. And they gave us fucking nothing. Dude, I wonder how much they don't know. I wonder if they think that they're at least being even remotely honest, because no one believes them. No one believes them. They don't even believe themselves. Why are they doing this?
Did Jeffrey Epstein...
And they need to be held with their feet to the fire, by the way. That's why I'm not letting up on it, because I think this is one of the most important stories. Actually, one of the most important freaking stories, man, that's going on right now. I think it's unacceptable that this shit could go on, and no one can actually face consequences to this. Look, I believe in justice. I believe in the law. I believe that if people enter the country illegally, they should be removed from the country. But I also believe if you're a pedophile, you should meet my wood chipper. Okay, listen, this is crazy.
himself, or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about...
Dude, I fucking love this guy, by the way. He has this one line. Wait. Christmas ornaments, drywall, and Jeffrey Epstein. Name 3 things that didn't hang themselves. Right? That's this guy, right? John Kennedy. This guy's amazing. Wait, hold on. I need to find that quote. That quote is diabolical. Look at this guy.
How can I put this? Christmas ornaments, drywall, and Jerry Epstein.
Jerry.
Name 3 things that don't hang themselves. That's what the American people think.
He's so right.
That's what the American people think.
Yeah, 100%.
And they deserve some answers.
Agreed.
And I know that you're not in charge of these investigations.
Yes, sir.
Whatever. You got the idea.
About that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
It's crazy how he looks to the side every time he says a sentence. He's looking to the side. Like, look at him saying that one more time. All right, listen, I'm no movement analyst guy, but just look at this shit.
Committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well,
right. Look at the way he looks to the side every single time he starts a sentence.
I mean, listen, they have a right.
All right, so he looks to the side.
Right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing.
Right. Looks to the side.
You know a side when you see one, and that's what.
Looks to the side. Do you see it again?
What that was.
Is that not crazy? Wait, hold on. I have to go back to the Joe Rogan clip. Does he do that by the Joe Rogan clip too? Pay attention. Hold on. Look at his eyes. Does he look to the right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is our left, but his right.
Of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island.
Looks down.
And I'm in charge.
Looks down again.
Don't you think?
Looks to the side again.
I think you'd see it.
If you
He did it 3 times. He did it 3 times.
have access to
Brother.
it.
If I have it. Period.
Right.
If I have it. If I have it.
He did it again.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say
Wait, stop. Are we looking at the same thing?
that you have it.
It looks down.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far.
Looks to the side.
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn
Look to the side.
time.
Did Jeffrey...
Bro, I'd love to play poker with this guy. Oh, my Lord.
Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing. You know a side when you see one, and that's what
And look, Dan Bongino.
that was.
He killed himself.
Does that not sound like he's saying a script?
You want me to? I've seen the whole file.
The Epstein files. What's the answer to that?
The answer to that
He's looking down.
is the same as everything else. I'm not
Looks to the side.
going to withhold information from the American public ever. But I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it. So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that. And it takes time.
Are we seeing it, by the way? Like, do you see it every sentence?
To go through years of investigations, years of political maneuvering, and years of cover-up to get the American people what they deserve. And that's what I'm going to give them. And you're going to get the video of the cell.
I can't watch him speak anymore. Like, it hurts me. It hurts me to even watch him speak. It's not a tick. Bro, stop. Stop. It's not a tick. Hold on. Let me go back to the clip of him before he was elected. All right. Hold on. Let's see. This is the clip before he was selected to become the FBI chief. All right. Let's see if he does it here.
That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
He did not look to the side for 1 second. He did not look to the side for a moment, brother.
Killed Jeffrey Epstein.
This doesn't look right. It does.
Bro, come on, dude.
What's the answer to that?
The answer to that is the same as everything else. I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever, but I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it. So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that, and it takes time to go through years of investigations, years of political maneuvering, and years of cover-up to get the American people what they deserve. And that's what I'm going to give them. And you're going to get the video of the cell. And you're going to see...
And he doesn't even give us the video of this cell.
For yourself.
And he looks away every sentence.
We do have video. It's not the greatest video in the world. I don't want to set expectations on fire. However, the video does show in that specific block that he goes in, made a phone call. You'll see 12 hours of guards going to basically check on him, come back. You'll see no one really comes out in that bay, in that area, than him. There's no one in there. When you combine that with the other evidence we will be releasing in the coming weeks, we're still finalizing some of the products. I think it's pretty clear.
Overnight, the FBI...
Yeah, and there was actually no real footage about anything. Yeah, there was no, and the video ended up being edited, which we're going to be looking at today.
And Justice Department releasing 11 hours of footage they say helps confirm notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019. But perhaps the biggest bombshell, investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
Alex Costa, it sounds so bullshit, it's crazy.
Allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt for 1 second?
Are we still talking about Jeffrey
Are you still
Epstein?
talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things, and are people...
Brother, the government released this information while everything else was going on. Why shouldn't they be asking about it? You chose when to release it.
People still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
This is yikes. Bro, it's such a yikes. It's such a yikes. I don't know what the shadow government is diabolical. I don't know what's actually going on. None of us do. All I know is we are being lied to, and we absolutely need to be talking about it. So anyway, the cover-up gets so much worse, and then we're going to be looking at the diabolical levels of editing that they did on that fucking video. Never let a good emergency go to waste, I guess.
This is the worst cover-up of my lifetime, the Epstein case. The reason I'm talking about it so much is because if you can get away with this, you really can get away with anything. If the government can tell people to not believe what they just said.
No, it's literally, do not believe what your eyes have seen and your ears have heard. Do not believe the very real things that you are touching.
A few months ago, and have everyone be fine with that. That's just a level of gaslighting that I refuse to be a part of. Never forget, they just promised us names in the release of the Epstein files.
Breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released.
Oh, nice.
What kind?
A lot of names, a lot of information.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names.
Got nothing!
That will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable.
Yeah, well, apparently there are no names to be given. No list, no blackmail. Epstein has now been pushed as a lone trafficker. It's the lone trafficker theory, guys.
Guys, I see people in my chat bringing up points that have been said by other people as to why it's possible that this is true. Going through the timeline. You're all retarded if you believe this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother. If you don't believe this, you're a retard. You think that this one guy alone who made money with nebulous purposes, all right? He made money for weird reasons, had connections to every single famous person on the planet, all right? From the royal family in England to every president of the United States, All right? You think that this guy had visits to his island from every special fucking rich-ass billionaire, entrepreneur, ruler anywhere on the planet visited this guy, where he also, by complete coincidence, sex trafficked 1,000 children that he raped himself, and no one else was anywhere near them and didn't know anything about it. Do you really think this makes sense? The point is, the reason why I'm being honest about this is because so many people aren't, bro. So many people aren't being honest about it. Every single person saying, well, maybe there is no list and he just did the crime himself and he might have been rich. It makes no sense. Do not believe your eyes and do not believe your ears is what they're telling you. I'm sorry, man. You gotta be honest with yourself. You're allowed to like Trump. You're allowed to criticize this. You're allowed to at least question the fact that, yes, he is lying to you. Okay? He is. All right? I don't know what look, man. If you want the best faith analysis of this, releasing the list is starting World War III, and he is sacrificing himself to not release the list to save the world. That's more believable, which, by the way, that's bullshit, all right? That's not believable at all. I'm just making this clear. But that is more believable than saying there's no list, all right? I'll be real. That's more believable than saying there is no list. Come on, literally, use your eyes and ears.
Essentially, the government's memo that they just released contradicts everything we've seen before and now basically implies that Epstein was trafficking to himself and Ghislaine Maxwell was trafficking to Epstein.
Right? Think about how retarded that is, right? 1,000 victims all being trafficked by a 2-person operation so that one guy can solo level. Please.
And there was no other blackmail or trafficking going on. That's what this memo essentially implies. His wealth and his power then would be just from his skill as a New York financier.
I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Basically, he was the world's greatest
financier, baby. He can help you invest. That's right. He beats the stock market. That's why he raped 1,000 children. What are we doing?
Tax advisor by day and the world's greatest trafficker at night to himself. And the rich and powerful people who all flocked to him and to his island had no idea of this double life. That really is kind of the heart of the modern theory, is that just all Epstein by himself, and then his friends just were there for
like, this is obviously not true.
His tax advice, despite not being a tax professional or a lawyer. Not only that, another huge revelation is the fact that really the government has increased the number of victims and decrease the number of perpetrators, right?
Yes!
We had the idea that there were these
literally,
other perpetrators for a while that they
were... They started off by saying there were dozens of victims. Now they're saying there's 250 plus victims physically that were there, plus thousands of victims of child porn that were caught there. It started off with dozens, and it used to be there's a whole list of powerful people that are going to that island that are all probably swept in on this, and now it was all Jeffrey Epstein himself, that dirty, dirty guy.
Just redacted because the government was building cases. Now we got pretty clear statements that there isn't evidence to bring future cases on third parties, but if you look at the original 2019 indictment, it says dozens of victims. This is from Ken Klippenstein. But the Epstein review says over 1,000 victims.
Bro.
So what happened, guys? And by the way, in the interim, they also increased the number to 200 to 250.
200 victims. 200. So we have well over 250, actually.
So we went from dozens to 200 to over 1,000 in the span of basically a year. Terms of victims, we like 10x the number of victims.
All right,
but now there's no
bad guys. No bad guys. Only victims. No bad guys.
Have been reduced. That is the crazy thing about what they're implying here. What this lone trafficker theory is pushing forward. It's also strange because previously Epstein, in a court filing, is said to have provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. Case agent advised that no federal prosecution will occur in this matter as long as Epstein continues to uphold his agreement with the state of Florida. So apparently there was some deal where Epstein was providing information to the FBI. What information? We don't know because no one else was involved. There's also the simple fact that if you go to the FBI records, what they call the vault, most of the files are just heavily redacted. So
they said they were gonna at least look me in the eye when you spit in my mouth, okay? Like, what are we even doing here? You say you're being transparent, you directly lied to us, you release the files, and they're still redacted? Like, Why are we doing this, bro? Like, what's going on?
The idea that we got some transparency wave is literally a joke. Yes, it is true. There's no Epstein list where there's like names written down, but names exist in documents, on videos, in images.
Yeah, we had previous trials and cases that were redacted, right? We're redacting names. There were names redacted from previous shit. Why is that not released? Look, when I said Epstein list, I didn't expect, like, you know how a cashier has like a list like of every client that they have that they write down on the side? Like, no one expected that. No one expected Bill Clinton diddled 4 women. Donald Trump, he came on the island, had a martini, smacked the ass of another one. Like, no one's expecting any of that, all right? No one is expecting it literally to be that upfront. But we know who was there. We know who were on those, the government knows who was on that island, who were in that planes, and who is in that footage, okay? Literally. I don't know. I feel like unless the government has at this point, a third party, I don't know who you could even trust, but a third party investigation where a third party combs through this footage, I don't know how you could ever believe this shit.
And they're all redacted. What's going on here? They're gonna say, oh, it's all for the victims, right? But it's not all victim names. In addition to that, this lone trafficker theory is already on shaky grounds when you think about Prince Andrew's settlement.
Yeah. Wait, not only Prince Andrew's settlement. Wait. Not only Prince Andrew's settlement. Didn't the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, didn't she literally disown him before she died because of his Epstein connections? Like, really? Really? We're not thinking, come on. Like, please. Besides, one thing I have to say about my the Prince Andrew connections, one thing I have to say is my favorite clip of all time comes from when he was being pressured about Jeffrey Epstein.
And that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating. Because
right, so there's evidence, there's eyewitness testimony that he was sweating at a party with Jeffrey Epstein or something like that. I'm sorry, I have to show you the full context, because the full context is even funnier.
July of this year, Epstein was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and abusing dozens of underage girls. One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating, because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
Right, at the time.
And that was, actually, yes, I didn't sweat at the time.
Right, of course.
Because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at.
When he was shot at.
And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat. On that particular day that we now understand is the date, which is the 10th of March, I was at home. I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would
you... Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is he tries to get away with this shit by saying, well, the witness couldn't have been telling the truth. You see, I do not sweat. And then they started sharing these pictures all over the internet of Prince Andrew fucking covered in sweat. Yeah, anyway, obviously that did not work.
With Virginia Giuffre, where he paid $16 million to make civil sexual assault allegations go away. Now, of course, it's worth saying that he did not admit to guilt. This was a settlement, but that is what you're always going to have with these rich and powerful people.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the same way, you also have Leon Black, who reportedly paid $158 million over 5 years to Jeffrey Epstein for tax advice. And guess what? Leon Black, billionaire, also paid the U.S. Virgin Islands $62 million in cash.
Weird,
as part of a settlement, a non-prosecution, where they wouldn't go after him for anything from, quote, any and all claims of any nature whatsoever.
That is so bullshit. It's like literally paying your way out of prison for being a pedophile. Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? I will just do a simple donation out of the kindness of my heart of $62 million to your foundation. I would like to be declared innocent of all charges, please.
Specifically related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, no way, they listed him specifically.
It's worth noting that $15 million of this cash payment will be going to counseling programs and activities or mental health services. You also have Jess Staley, the former boss of Barclays. He directly admitted to having sex with a member of Epstein's staff.
Bro, dude. So, like, that's why it's so many levels of bullshit. Only Jeffrey Epstein had boners on that island. We know. We've been there, we've seen it. Only Jeffrey Epstein had boners. Of the rich people that were on that island, they were witnessing how Jeffrey Epstein's the only man that got hard.
Which you would expect if someone was running a trafficking operation, although I just have to say that there was a statement that this was entirely consensual, and I'm not saying anything about that. I'm simply saying the idea that Epstein was just trafficking for himself is unlikely to be true, in my opinion. Later, Staley wrote to Epstein, "Say hi to Snow White." Epstein replied, "What character would you like next?" Staley responded, "Beauty and the Beast." And then Jeffrey Epstein said, "Well, one side is available."
That definitely sounds like he had clients, brother. That definitely sounds like he had clients.
Some type of coded message. You can read into that for yourself, but all of this is public. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what makes the government's memo so infuriating.
Because it's an obvious lie. Because it's an obvious lie. It is such an obvious lie. That's why it's so frustrating. Like, dude, they're not even trying to hide this shit from you, man. They're like, yeah, we know exactly what's going on. We know you're not going to believe it. We're just going to say it anyway. That's what makes Trump's doubling down so complicated. Like, does he really think making a tweet like this, where he just basically does this whole thing, I don't understand why people are asking about Jeffrey Epstein. No one cares about that. Why is he even making this tweet? There is no way even you think that anyone is buying this, bro.
So much reporting has already been done. These settlements with powerful figures, under denials, yes, but also under very questionable circumstances, make just a complete denial and statement that all of this was just Epstein impossible to believe. In September 2009, Epstein also emailed a woman named Irina to tell her that Jess Staley is staying in the Berkeley Hotel in London tonight. Staley emailed Epstein the next day to say, "I should have taken your offer," according to the Times. There's also this book by one of the 60 Minutes correspondents called A Ticking Clock, where he says that he met with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Nice.
And he said, "I want the tapes," I said to Maxwell at a table at Regency Bar. "I know he was videotaping everyone. I want the tape of Trump with the girls." She didn't deny the existence of the tapes, but said, "I don't know where they are." He apparently replied,
I'm sorry, guys. I am now convinced that anytime the government seals files, ever, and this includes JFK, this includes MLK, this includes Jeffrey Epstein, anytime the government seals files, it's because the CIA did it. This is my new conspiracy theory, all right? Every single time. I don't care about the circumstances, but if it's sealed, it's the CIA. That's my opinion. You could definitely unsubscribe if you don't like it. Definitely subscribe if you think I'm just literally spitting facts. What about Building 7, 9/11? I don't even know what you're talking about, but it was probably the CIA. No, I'm kidding. No, but I don't know, man. There is some suspicious bullshit going on.
I'd ask Epstein, and she gave him a stern look and pointed a finger at my face. "I'm the daughter of a press baron. I know the way you people think. If you do one side, you must do the other. If you get tapes on Trump, you have to do Clinton." Now, again, what you make of a third-hand source like this talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, who apparently doesn't deny that some of these tapes exist, was she even telling the truth or just playing some game?
I mean, why is she even in prison? She's trafficking victims to no predators. You're crazy, huh? There are no victims to Jeffrey Epstein. There was no Jeffrey Epstein. There is no island. Give us a year. Give us a year. Give us a year. There's no island.
Either way, this was all known about, not just by people after the fact, but allegedly by people during the fact. This is from Mark Epstein. It's sourced from Jeffrey Epstein. Quote, "If I said what I know about both candidates, they'd have to cancel the election." That's what Jeffrey told me in 2016.
Okay, there's no way Jeffrey Epstein was just sitting there 2016 is like, I got children for both of these pedophiles. There's no way. Oh my God, you really are either voting for the red satanic pedophiles or the blue satanic pedophiles, aren't you, brother?
So not even Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly were claiming this was all just between them. They were constantly insinuating that there were compromising things on various powerful people. What's funny is that Trump himself, even before he was in a position to declassify this stuff, had accused other powerful people of doing these things.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. That island.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know why everyone's hiding this, man. Like, obviously, this is a power move of some sort. I really believe it's a CIA operation at this point. I don't even think it's blackmail. I mean, I do think it's blackmail, but I think the blackmail is done by the U.S. government, or Mossad, or both, or the MI5, or all the fucking global secret agencies that came together. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely diabolical.
It was really a cesspool. There's no question about it.
But regardless, or MI6, MI5, whatever. Regardless, they're protecting pedophiles. They're protecting pedophiles. Grok says Mossad is involved. Yeah, but Grok calls itself Mecha Hitler. Okay, listen. No, but I know.
But just ask Prince Andrew.
Watch the Benny Johnson video. He shows a lawyer and witness stating Trump had no part in it. I don't think Trump had any part in it. I don't, personally. I don't. I do think that he was on that island, but I don't think he is a pedophile. And the reason why is because the Democrats would have released that shit into the world. They would have dropped that into the ether to make sure that he wasn't the president. I firmly believe that. So while I do think he is on the list in some capacity that he visited the island, because he was friendly with Jeffrey Epstein, I firmly doubt that he's a pedophile in any way, or that they actually have anything actually damning on the guy, because realistically, if they would, they would have used it.
You also have the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was in touch with other convicted pedophiles. Larry Nassar, he was writing letters, so the idea, once again, that he was just by himself, off by himself, doing things on his island by himself, and then taking calls with people like Bill Gates simply for philanthropic advice,
so bullshit,
really
man.
pushes the bounds of belief. Don't forget, a close associate of Bill Gates was named a fallback executor on the will of Jeffrey Epstein, which he, by the way, said he was shocked by and he deeply regrets meeting Epstein. Bill Gates has said similar things to that effect. Of course, Bill Gates fraternized with Epstein after he was convicted of crimes. Previously, he told the Wall Street Journal, "I didn't have any business relationship or friendship with him," but in fact, he met multiple times with him at his Manhattan townhouse. Now, once again, I have to say real quick, all of these people are innocent until proven guilty. All of them deny doing anything untoward. But my point is, there are already...
The point is there's a list, okay? The point is there's a list, and the government's spitting in your mouth, looking you in the eye, and lying to you, okay? Literally, they are doing that, all right? Listen, that's what's happening, all right? I'm telling you, man. They took their condom off, and then they said, don't worry, I'm using protection, all right? Like, come on, dude. Like, this is literally the level of blatant lying that's happening. It's not the first time the government's lying to us. I think the government lies a lot, but it's the first time it's this obvious, bro.
Too many associations to make the lone trafficker theory make any sense. For example, Jean-Luc Brunel was somebody who apparently trafficked a bunch of people to Epstein, who himself abused a bunch of women and even was charged for it. He was charged for some really awful things and then later found dead in his cell. Interestingly...
No shot, dude. Wait. There's another guy who was trafficking to Epstein that also suspiciously killed himself? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me, brother. What is going on?
Epstein was actually a financier of Brunel's modeling agency where a lot of this alleged abuse happened. So once again, the idea of the lone trafficker just doesn't make sense because Epstein directly linked to another guy who was also abusing women. So after all of this...
Listen, there are 47 completely separate solo child sex traffickers. It's all a coincidence. Don't ask questions. There's more important things going on. All right, there's literally a war between Russia and Ukraine. Why are we discussing Jeffrey Epstein? He's dead.
They're really asking you to believe the unbelievable. They're asking you to not believe what they've said about this case, both out of office and now in power. They're asking you to not believe public reporting linking Epstein to other known files. They're asking you not to believe suspicious circumstances regarding settlements of powerful people. They're asking you to believe that Epstein was just the greatest tax advisor and financial advisor on the planet that all of these billionaires needed to consult, despite the fact that there are entire organizations built around providing the same services as this without,
they needed him.
You know, links to crimes. They're asking you to believe that when people are talking about Snow White and Beauty and the Beast, they're referencing Disneyland.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude. Like, again.
And they're especially asking you to believe that they have found 900 new victims since reviewing these files and exactly 0 new perpetrators. So I'm just not buying it personally. I find it insulting to the intelligence of every single person who's ever looked at this story. And yeah, it really makes me feel like this was a appropriate time to launch a crime is legal merch collection, to be honest. So yeah, this is probably my last video on this for a while, but
anyway, it's not, because they lied. The footage was modified. They released modified Epstein footage. No one expected this. Everyone thought that the footage was at least real. It's not. Breaking news, the footage is fake too. Because hey, they didn't just lie about one part of this, they lied about every part of this.
The raw Epstein footage was modified according to its metadata, despite Dan Bongino previously saying that they would release the original footage so you wouldn't think there were shenanigans.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're gonna give the original.
Cleaning it up. What could you possibly clean up about that shitty video that you gave us?
Also, you don't think...
Listen, the Epstein files did not edit themselves. That's what I'm saying. Name 3 things that don't, cut themselves. All right, Jeffrey Epstein, fucking drywall. And the footage, bro. Listen, I'm just saying, it didn't edit itself, bro.
There were any shenanigans.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what we got. Even the raw video, the original video, was put into Adobe Premiere Pro. This is a scoop from Wired. Quote, metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified.
Nah, that's crazy. That is so fucking insane that they released modified footage on top of everything. Like, dude, like, this is, you don't understand the disrespect, the blatant disrespect to my intelligence as a citizen, bro. Again, this isn't negating the good things that the government does, but this just is another example of the government lying to you for its own purposes, as it has always done, as it will always continue to do. All right, that's just life, whether you like it or not.
Basically, they pulled the metadata and showed that the footage appears to be assembled from at least 2 source clips, saved multiple times, exported, and then uploaded to the DOJ's website, where it was presented as raw footage, which technically it is not.
It's literally not. It's just raw. It's just not.
I pulled the EXIF data myself. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's these ingredients file path here, where you can see 4 different files. 2 of them are just identical. So 2 unique files here that have been basically stitched together is the most charitable interpretation.
I can't believe they did this, bro. I can't believe they did this.
But look, the stunning incompetence, if that's what this is kind of hard to take.
It's not incompetence. I love that people are doing this. It's like, yes, of course. I can't believe how incompetent they are that they edited the footage. Yeah, it's definitely incompetent. Yes, absolutely. He accidentally shot himself in the head twice. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. What an accident. Oopsie poopsie. I was so incompetent. What are we doing here, guys? What are we talking about? Oh, I can't believe how incompetent he was. He assassinated John F. Kennedy in a moving car. What an incompetent guy. He meant to pick his toenails, and he accidentally assassinated the president of the United States. Oopsie poopsie. Like, what are we doing, guys? What is happening?
Just over and over, they sort of hype up what they have and then deliver something different in a meaningful way. I mean, you cannot say, hey, we're going to give you original footage so you don't think there are shenanigans, and then you splice together 2 clips in Premiere Pro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, yes, maybe you didn't do anything with it, but it kind of ruins the whole chain of evidence. Wired actually...
Well, it ruins it literally is just a lie. They said they'd release the raw footage, and they're giving not raw footage. It could be anything. It could be fucking AI. It could be anything. It could literally be anything. They could have cut out the one most crucial minute of the entire footage, which, let me remind you, a minute of footage was missing from the actual tape. All right, let's make this clear. A actual minute of footage was missing from the tape. Now, they've responded to this already. I don't know if you saw the response. Did you see the response? Hold on, let me find you the response. I'm never going to find it because now everyone's just going to be talking about Trump's new tweet. Yeah. But they responded. The response was bad. Let me just tell you. The response was very bad. All right, I'm not finding this shit. Womp, womp. Let's see if I can find it. I would love to show you this response because it's actually crazy. There it is. I found it.
The minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence
Holy word salad, Batman.
prior to it was showing he committed suicide.
Yeah, what was the evidence? There was no evidence in any of those videos that he committed suicide.
And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter.
Right.
And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night.
Every year, every night.
They redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night.
They want us to believe that there's just a minute of footage missing from every single night in the prison, right? They just want us to believe that they're just oopsie poopsie. We just miss a minute of footage every single night. Very convenient. The same minute every night that's missed every single night by coincidence. Weird how that happened.
And the minute missing from...
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I believe it.
He quotes a professor of UC Berkeley.
By the way, that's bullshit. That was sarcasm, brother. They're not missing 62 seconds from every single night, okay? what are we doing?
Whose research focuses on digital forensics. He has testified in numerous court cases, and he says, if a lawyer brought me this file and asks if it was suitable for court, I'd say no. Go back to the source. Do it right. Do a direct export from the original system. No.
Yeah, obviously, don't clip this shit. You said it's raw footage, and it wasn't. Listen, it's a complete coincidence. A man named Jeffrey is killed in the prison every night. Listen, it's just standard, okay? It's completely standard. None of this is meant to raise any eyebrows.
No monkey business. So that kind of puts it all together. I mean, maybe this is all charitably just incompetence. Charitably, it was just, hey, there was a minute at night missing because it's an old analog.
Oh,
and
get
there
out
were two
of here.
different files.
Oh,
they
get
spliced
out of
it
here.
together. But even that is like, was done horribly in the worst.
Bro, come on, dude. Why are we even like remotely taking the fact that they want us to take this seriously is insanity. Insanity, dude. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna release all the footage. It proves it definitively. Not only does it not prove it, but a minute's missing, and it turns out it's not even the footage. It's spliced footage. Like, it's insulting. Listen, guys, Poop has investigated fart and smelled no shit.
Possible way. For instance, the video aspect ratio suddenly shifts as the tape changes over, or whatever they claim. You can see that right here. There's like a sudden shift in the video. I have not changed.
Hey, I actually pointed that out in my previous Epstein video. That if you actually look at the footage, it changes frame.
This video in any
I did point that out in my original Epstein video. You could look at it.
way. I have it in the Premiere Pro timeline, which I guess they had as well. So this is as intended. So there's this just weird shifts in the footage. I mean, this was done in actually a very sloppy way after they explicitly talked about needing to do it in the right way so the American public could rely on it.
I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever, but I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format.
See, but like, this is so sneaky also. What, you really think that the head of the FBI is never gonna hide information from the American public? See, that's so obviously bullshit. Like, why does anyone ever take you at your word? Really? You're never gonna hide anything from the American public? Really? Like, come on. Like, this is obviously not true. Like, you're trying to lick my butthole and make me say thank you, but obviously that's not true. Like, there are operations that you shouldn't be disclosing to the American public, obviously.
In which they can't rely on it.
Except that's exactly what they did. The promises that were made are just consistently not kept. When you go on Fox News and say you're gonna do it right, you're gonna give us the original video so we don't think there are shenanigans, and then you do this, yes, we can interpret you charitably, but it leaves room for doubt. It's not only
But you lied. You lied. You have told a fib. A little fib.
Case that at 11:58 p.m. the aspect ratio changes. It's also the case that the enhanced version and the raw version also differ from each other in how the aspect ratio changes. You can see that originally the enhanced and the regular raw version line up perfectly in terms of aspect ratio, but when the camera flips—
Wait, that's all they needed to do? They just changed the lighting in the video? Come on, dude.
Over to this new day, now their aspect ratio is actually off from each other. So why? I mean, this is like so obviously bad. They said they were taking their time with this. They said, oh, no shenanigans here. But this wasn't a complicated job. It was just about, like, they did—
It was literally just download the footage and upload it onto Twitter. Like, that's literally the job. The job was literally just download the footage and upload it. That was it. That was it. It wasn't complicated. And also, like, let's not forget, this isn't even his cell, all right? His cell is up these stairs over here, like these 3 pixels around this corner, okay? Let's not forget, this isn't even his cell. This proves nothing, by the way.
Mild sharpening and contrast boosting. Why they're playing around with the aspect ratio like they're a film director in their first year of film school is unimaginable to me. I just cannot understand why you would be doing this in such a sloppy way. So just incredibly incompetent work here is the nicest way to say it. We know now that the Epstein footage that they have released to us, even the raw footage, was modified. Last thing I want to—
Yeah, I can't believe they modified the raw footage. I cannot believe they modified the raw footage. I can't believe James Gunn directed the Epstein footage. This is diabolical. No, but like, it's crazy. It's like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding in that minute?
Say is that it's the final day of crime is legal merch.
Hell yeah, dude. No, it's crazy. You had one job, brother. You had one job, and you botched that shit immediately. You are protecting pedophiles, and it's disgusting. Now, I don't know if they have some sort of weird, evil, greater good mentality about this, but there is no greater good. I'm sorry, there's no greater good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no greater good. I'm sorry. I cannot fathom a world where there is a greater good to protecting elite pedophiles. So therefore, I think it's incredibly disgusting and shitty, and it just turns out the government's gonna forever lie to you, because that's just life. And welcome to life where the government lies to you, and you have to do your best to actually trust your eyes and ears and your own brain that God has given you. God has given you a brain to think, okay? He didn't give you a fucking brain to just obey and serve endlessly. All right, that's my closing thoughts. Definitely subscribe for more retards. This time the retards are in the government as usual, it seems. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you immensely. And yeah, I will keep you updated if there's anything new that happens. But Trump's response was diabolical. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.